too scared to set it free. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I will not feel alone. my deepest wound, my most painful scar, and I cherish you. Well, ignore my warning. Just know that I'm sorry for you. And all this time, just know that I've tried for you. Come back to me. Take me away and break me into pieces. Hit me with the truth. And don't pull your punches. And I'll brace myself for all this pain. Erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain. Erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty. Erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows a reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in. You have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside?
Thank you. Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 192, if I'm counting correctly. Are we on 92 or 93? Whew, I always forget. But either way, whatever number it is, 92. I was right. I need to trust myself more. I think I'm almost always right. I just always doubt that I'm right. Either way, stream number 192, and it is game night in music. So we're going to be playing a few tracks, but we're also going to be playing a lot of games. We've got the fun S-tier competition game. We're going to get that going in just a bit, but let's go ahead and catch up with the chat, and then we'll get some competition happening here. Hope you're all doing well. I was talking with Jack. Rebel, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you for spreading the word. Much appreciated. And Becky, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let's get caught up here. Jack and I were just talking about some movies. He was saying I had seen 28 Days Later a long time ago. Yeah, I know it came out way back 2002. I'd always seen like bits of it. I never like sat down and got a chance to watch it properly. So I watched it recently. It was coming to Netflix, so I went ahead and watched it. And it's one of those movies. It's really well made. I can tell it's good. Like I don't really have any problems with it or anything. It's just I guess think of it this way. This movie came out before The Walking Dead, but those zombie survival movies, they're kind of, I guess it's just the same story. It's just they wake up and it's the apocalypse and they find some other survivors, and there's a chance, like they get a signal of somebody out there who might have some safety, you know, some place of safety, and that's where they're trying to get to, and it's sort of following them the journey to get there. And then as it turns out, you know, spoiler alert, but they get there and it's not what they think it is, and usually there's kind of a big finale, and then they're just off and back on the road to survive. And so it's kind of, I don't know, I guess it's just not very fulfilling or something. Or for that kind of story, you're going to need, like, I think that's where The Walking Dead kind of thrived. You're going to need very likable or interesting characters that you really want to spend time with, because it's not really about the destination. It really is more about the journey. And I guess that's all I'll say. The characters were fine, but there was nothing super, you know, there wasn't anything that, like, really resonated with me. So it was a good movie, but it's not one that I would say, like, man, I love that. I got to watch it again, or I got to add that to my collection. But it was fine. It was a good movie. Becky saying, yeah, I was just in time. Yep, that's right. Just cooked some crispy Chinese chicken. Kind of coincidental that you say Chinese chicken, because my mom was visiting with her sister. Unfortunately, her sister was hurt fairly recently. She had an incident where I think a pit bull was attacking her dog, and while trying to get it off, I think she was bitten and ended up breaking her knee in the process. Now, she's in very good spirits. I went and actually saw her. I dropped off a few things for her. So in spite of what sounds like a very distressful situation, she's actually in very good spirits about it. But after that situation, mom's been kind of helping her. You know, she's not very, her sister's not very mobile right now, so mom is kind of making some trips over there, bringing her some meals and things like that. And they got Chinese pretty recently, and mom knows I like Asian food, and so she's always sweet about bringing me some leftovers. So I was able to have some Chinese chicken myself the other night, last night. And I definitely like that. I don't get Asian food a whole lot, so whenever I do, it's quite the treat. I love me some good Asian food. Need fuel for the game. That's right. Yeah, Becky's getting ready for the game, getting fueled up. 28 Days Later was so depressing when they thought the military, yep, so sounds like you've seen it and you know the outcome, would help them. Turned out to be worse than the zombies. Yeah, exactly. And if you think, I don't know if you'd ever watched The Walking Dead, kind of a similar situation. Walking Dead, it was always, you know, the main character woke up, like, and it's the zombie apocalypse, kind of have to join together with other people, and it's sort of this journey, like going to some place that they hope is going to be helpful, and then it turns out that the place to go is some kind of trap, or yes, worse than the actual zombies. So I didn't necessarily, like, it's a sad movie. I didn't necessarily find it, I don't know if I would describe it as depressing, but yeah, but I could see that impression of it. I think I'm going to just watch, okay, Jack's saying about the game. I think I'm just going to watch. I'm on my cell phone and can't answer fast enough, even when I know the answer. I mean, hey, nothing wrong with trying. You even at your slowest, you might be faster than your competition. Who knows? I could type just with one hand to make things more fair. I'm trying it now. Is that slow? I don't know. I couldn't see it, so maybe Jack can measure how fast that was. Thank you for the hearts and fire, Becky. Thank you for the applause, Jack. I think my major gripe with 28 Days Later is it ruined the zombie genre, in my opinion. That'd be kind of interesting, because I know it came out in 2002, but you might be right. I had heard that before that, you know, zombies were kind of known as just sort of slow, drudgy kind of things, and I think it was one of the first movies to have, like, the really fast-paced, vicious zombies. But I've never really minded that. I've always thought that was more intense. I've kind of appreciated that. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of survival horror video games, and I do like, you know, Resident Evil has the slower-paced zombies, and I do kind of appreciate that. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Any zombie movie, zombie genre can be kind of hit or miss. You know, there's some that I quite like, and then there's some that just don't do it for me. But it wasn't really the zombies for me. It wasn't like there was anything about the zombies that I disliked. It was just, again, for me, characters are really big. It's really just how much do I enjoy the characters and how much do I care about the journey that they're going on. I think that's really what makes or breaks a movie for me. How interested am I in the characters, and how much do I care about the story they're going on? And so it's really just degrees on how much I enjoy that part of it. Let's see here. Yeah, if I sound stuffy, you know what's funny is I hate to admit it, but I'm actually not sure that it's a cold. I think I've got some allergy stuff. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I think that might be the case. I've never really had a problem with allergies before, but it's probably just getting older, and so now maybe with the seasonal change, I don't know. Usually I know spring to be kind of allergy season. I don't know if fall changes that or whatever. But yeah, I've definitely had some stuffy nose. Just to give you guys a quick update, I actually had to record vocals earlier this week. And thankfully, I feel like I was still able to perform well. But it's definitely not as, like it's definitely harder to perform when you've got a stuffy nose. But I was just like, I think it's allergies. I don't think I can wait it out. I got to record the vocals. I just got to do the best I can, despite how I'm kind of feeling. But I don't know if it's the season. I think it's actually my brother's cat. I think my cat's been around and probably need to clean up the house a bit. And I think it's starting to affect me. And the thing that stinks, it's not like, oh, just get away from the cat and you'll be better. It's like my understanding is the symptoms, they're still going to linger for a bit. And it's going to take time for you to actually recover from it. At least that's my understanding of it. So I've been trying a few things, but yeah, unfortunately, still dealing with some stuffiness, and it's really annoying. I hope it goes away soon. Let's see here. Running zombies just don't make sense. Their bodies are deteriorating. I could see that, but again, we're talking, we're talking two things here. It is the realm of fiction, and so maybe for zombies, yes, maybe if the body is deteriorating and the dying, yeah, it doesn't make sense that they can run. But you could see it, and for what it's worth, I don't know that the movie ever actually called them zombies, if you want to get into that. So it could just be, in fact, they called the infection rage or something. And so it's almost more like the people just take on a viciousness. They're not necessarily, in fact, I think in that movie, they were trying to test if they would starve to death, like how long it takes for zombies to starve to death if they do. And I don't know that they do. I'm not really sure. Eventually, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. I'm not going to dive that deep into it. But I think there's still something kind of threatening about, that's what Becky was saying. Didn't they use the get out clause of calling it rage virus and not using the word zombie? Yeah, that's kind of what I was just saying. So I agree with that about, deteriorating, but I think it's a fun premise of people getting infected and just turning into this vicious. There is the mindset of something's driving them to want to kill, and for whatever reason they're attracted to other life forms and wanting to attack them, and almost having no sense of what do you call it? We have a consciousness, and we can. There's a certain limit where it's like, ouch, that hurts. I'm not going to push myself past that limit. But something about the mind totally bypassing that and just going all out. I think there's something intriguing and threatening about that. So I think that can make for it. So to me, that kind of antagonist wouldn't make or break the film for me. Again, for me, it still just comes down to, is the movie entertaining? Do I like the characters, and do I care about the story they're going on? It doesn't really matter if the zombies are slow or if they're fast. That's not really make or break for me. I was wondering about pull the trigger. I was going to say not to put too much pressure on yourself to perform it if you're not feeling good. Well, that's the thing, is like I feel fine. It's just my nose. That's the only annoying thing. Like I've been exercising this week, and I've been doing good, making good progress there. I've been sleeping well, have good energy, which is more reason to believe that it might be allergies rather than a cold. And so it's really just my nose. I'm not really sure what to do about it. I'm going to try what I can do before having to take any kind of allergy medication. Medication's like an absolute last resort for me. But hopefully there's some other things I can do. Even just cleaning my room. Like I probably need to give my room a good cleaning. Wash my bedding and do some vacuuming, a little bit of dusting, things like that. That might help. That's where I spend most of my time, so maybe getting my room cleaned up would sort of help. And I'm trying to stay away from the cat and the cat area a little bit more. Maybe get mom's help with cleaning up where the cat has been. So maybe the house just needs a good cleaning, and that'll help clear things up. So we'll see. But no, I felt fine. I felt fine to perform it. And like I said, I actually feel good about my vocal performance for the recording process. But it's just, so it's not really like an energy thing. It's just, my nose. My nose is just kind of stuffed up, which is annoying. Walking Dead got old because every season there was a new band of evil survivors. Yeah, that's what was frustrating. Walking Dead's one of those, like, it's so disappointing to me because it was so good, and then it just, like, it had so much potential, and then it just stayed around longer than it should have. I loved the first 2 and even the 3rd season of it, but by the 3rd season, it was like, oh my gosh, how many times are they going to hope, how many times are they going to hope that there's going to be help somewhere, and they're going to get there and find out it's a trap or it's not what they think it is. And it's like, you can only do that so many times, and then it's like, okay, something's got to change. There's got to be some resolve. There's got to be an ending to this story. So I don't think I watched past the 3rd season, but I loved that show when it was first coming out. And that's kind of my gripe with any TV show. That's why I if I'm going to watch a show, I prefer to watch shows that are already finished, because they'll break your heart like that. They'll string you along and make you love the show, but it's like, I don't really care how good it is while I'm watching it. Like, is it going to, how's this going to end? So I want to know that it's going to be worth my time, because you kind of feel betrayed in a way. You feel like you're loving it and following it, and then it just kind of stays around longer than it needs to. And so, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think I prefer Train to Busan. It also had running zombies. Train to Busan was good. I actually watched that fairly recently too. And kind of the same deal. It's one of those movies, like, well made, but that one had some pretty interesting characters. I probably would prefer Train to Busan to 28 Days Later. I would agree with that. But I've heard, again, that's another movie that a lot of people have really hyped up, and I just thought, like, no, it was good. Like, I'm not going to say I loved it, but it was fine. Maybe my perspective has changed since my MS diagnosis. When my nerve dies for me, it's gone. My left eye will never come back, bearing God deciding to repair the damage to the optic nerve. Yeah, I definitely wish you weren't dealing with any health concerns like that. Yep. Man, Becky and I, we're like, I don't know, we're on the same page. Every time I say something, then Becky comments kind of like in line with what I'm saying. So, Andrew Lincoln, I don't know if you meant Lincoln or if it's Lycon or something. Andrew is a new UK show called, or I don't know, I'm misreading that. There's a new UK show called Cold Water. It's pretty good. Well, I hope it does stay good. All right, I think we're going to get some competition going. Hopefully we have a few more competitors show up. But we'll go ahead and we'll kind of get things pulled up. And hopefully as people tune in, we can go in. If we need to, we will, we'll do another song, and then we'll get the actual competition started. But and actually I've got one more thing to share with you all. As you guys know, last week I was at a movie shoot with my brother. It was the Civil War movie, and got to ride on horseback. I've got some pictures to show you all. So just so you know, the movie is called The Red Badge of Courage. I think originally it was a book, and there's actually another movie that was adapted in like the 70s, and that movie was the same title, The Red Badge of Courage. And so this is, I don't know that it's a remake. I think it's more like another adaptation of the book, but a more updated, it's coming out. It's either coming out later this year, or I have a feeling it's probably coming out next year. I haven't actually seen a due date for it. But the movie's called The Red Badge of Courage. And I got a few pictures from the shoot. So here's the first picture. So there's me all suited up and on horseback. This horse that you see, the back of this horse's head, that's my brother's perspective. He was on the horseback, and he got his phone out and took a picture of me. So you can kind of see like a few people in the background and a few vehicles. They just had tents set up with all the stuff that you would need. They had a costume department and then a prop department. So they got me dressed up, and they gave me a sword. And Al, the guy these are his horses, Al's horses, and my horse's name was Ranger. They got him suited up. This other horse that my brother's on is named Batman. So it was Ranger and Batman, and they got them suited up, saddled up, and we got on. So that's the first picture there. Then I got another picture. That's me and my brother. So Al probably took this picture. So both of us on horseback. And, yep, we were just kind of looking off into the distance, and he got a picture of us. So let's see. I got a couple more pictures here. And then there's both of us, so just a selfie. my brother holding the camera. So we're on set now. We're in the woods, and if you can see kind of in the back there's some people. That's like the rest of the cast and crew. So they were up there at these like bunkers. They had their guns, and they're in line, and there's camera crew. They've got cameras off to the side setting up, and this is where they were setting like explosives in the ground and setting off charges to blow up the dirt and stuff. So we were probably just kind of hanging out, waiting till they wanted us to do something and getting some pictures. And then at some point during the shoot, this is my other brother. He came to visit. So he and his girlfriend, they were doing something with a dog. I think they had a dog to drop off or meeting someone. They were kind of in the same area where we were shooting. So they came by on set. They know Al. So they met up with Al, and he brought them on set, and then they got a picture of the three of us. So that's me on the right, and then Guthrie, my brother, on the left, who's with me, and then my brother Jacoby at the bottom there. Jacoby's more of a cowboy than me. You know, he and Guth both, they're the real cowboys. They're the ones who spend time with horses and do all that stuff. But it was really fun for him to come. And then I was hoping to share some footage with you guys, but I couldn't figure out how to bring the footage up. It's a weird... I downloaded the video, like I only got the video from a text. Somebody had texted it, and when I downloaded the video, it's a weird file, so I wasn't able to find a way to show it. But they did get some video footage of us actually shooting a scene, and you see one of the charges go off and blow the dirt into the air, and you see us, like, the horses kind of responding to that, and we're having to run around and that kind of thing. So I was hoping to show you guys some footage, some kind of behind-the-scenes footage, but there we go. Let's see here. Yeah, catching up with the chat. Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. Yep, that's right. And then, yeah, thanks for the hearts, you all. Quincy, you look great in uniform. Well, thanks. Yep. No question, y'all are brothers. So, yeah, we get told we look kind of similar and stuff. I tend to grow my hair out, so that probably makes me look a little different. He kind of keeps his hair short. But, yeah, if you see, let me get the close-up. But we both have brown eyes. And, yeah, if I grow my facial hair out, you know, yeah, we kind of look similar there. But I tend to grow my hair out, so, and he'll have his shorter and stuff. But yeah, we've often been told we kind of have a similar look to each other. Let's see here. You can tell your brother is because of the smile. Yeah, we might have a similar kind of smile when we go about that. But that was the best part, honestly. Like, it was fun being on the movie set. But yeah, I'm the kind of person where I enjoy like one-on-one time more than social gatherings. And so when it comes to my family, like that was the best part, just getting to be with my brother and do the movie with him. And so that's what I like. I like, you know, going to town with one of my sisters, or watching a movie with one of my siblings, or playing a game, or competing in a sport, or whatever it might be, kind of doing a one-on-one thing. I like doing stuff with all of them too. Like, that's great. But anytime I can just have some one-on-one time with any of them, it's definitely something I enjoy. If anyone's just tuning in, we're going to get the competition going here. I was just sharing some behind the scenes from a movie shoot that I was a part of last week. It's a movie called The Red Badge of Courage. Should be coming out either later this year or sometime next year. Not totally sure. It's a small independent production, so it's not going to be like a huge theatrical release, but it was still fun to be a part of it. All right, here we go. Here is our tier list. So anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello, and we'll try to get some competition going. Usually it's nice to have at least 3 people. We can work with 2, but it is nice to have 3 people when we get the chance. We got Becky. Becky was last week's winner and one of the top ranking winners. So, Becky, you've been doing a really good job with this. Jack, we'll get you in on this. I know you're concerned about being a little slow, but right now I don't know that we have a whole lot of competitors, so we might need you just to get the game going. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll have some other people tuning in and ready to compete. Cool. I tell you what, while we're kind of waiting for some more people to get in, I wonder if I might go ahead and play another song for you all. Let's see here. Jack saying, my brother definitely looked better than me. No, I'm sure you both had your pros and cons. I'm sure you both looked fine. I think I'm going to go ahead. I've kind of got a special song to play for y'all anyway, and I guess it's going to be a treat for you. I was hoping more, well, maybe we'll wait, because I would like to sort of share this. Like I said, I am working on Pull the Trigger, and I recorded vocals for it earlier this week. That went well. Currently editing those vocals, and I'm going to try to perform it for the first time for this stream, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, yeah, Becky was saying it might have been Hobbs that really took the win. According to what I saw, you were the one that got the answer last time, but Hobbs was indeed very close. It was a good matchup. Hopefully Hobbs and them will return. All right, I'm gonna switch up my set list a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and play a song so that hopefully gives some people time to tune in, and then we'll get this competition kicked off. I was gonna play my new song. I was gonna try Pull the Trigger for the first time, but I'm gonna kind of wait. I was hoping usually people show up pretty quickly, so this is a little I don't want to say unusual, but this isn't the normal where it's just a couple of us. So I'll play a different song first, and then hopefully we'll have some more people and be able... Hey, we got Silas here. Silas, just in time. We were needing more people. Let's get you in on the competition here. I think I am still going to play a song, and then we'll get things going. Here we go. Here's the list. Let's get Silas in on this. Silas, let me know how your week's been. Anything fun or eventful happened lately? Anything coming up that you're looking forward to? Tell me all about it. So yeah, I'm going to play another song, and then later I am going to try Pull the Trigger for the first time with the backing track, so we'll see how that goes. Jack says, don't be surprised if my answer comes while you're asking the next question. Yep, we'll keep that in mind. We'll be aware of that. Yeah, so yeah, I'll hold off on the new song yet so that others, so we can have a few more new people come in and hopefully hear the new song. Cool. Well, let me go ahead and play a little something, and then we've got enough people to at least start the competition off, but I'm going to play a different song. I'll play another song in place of Pull the Trigger for now. This one is Farewell to Fear, so this was my previous release. My most recent release, but my next release is going to be Pull the Trigger, which should be coming out in early October. Here's your courtesy reminder to stay hydrated. All right. Going to give this one a shot. This one is Farewell to Fear. And yeah, just a good reminder, it's been a good week. I've been recording, and I'm kind of working on some stuff, some things that I'm really excited about. But if I'm being honest, some things that I'm also a little scared about, a little nervous about, because I don't know how they're going to play out. But all I can say is, I think oftentimes if you're scared, it probably means you're going the right way. I think sometimes there's a certain path we want to go, but we sort of talk ourselves out of it. The fear talks ourselves out of it. And all we're doing is keeping ourselves from doing what we're called to do, what we're meant to do. So, don't be afraid. Whatever goals and dreams you have, whatever you're working towards, keep working towards it. Keep finding a way. And don't give up. Don't let fear be the thing that keeps you from living a fulfilling life, living the life that you were meant to live. So this one goes out to all of you. This is Farewell to Fear.
One just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Waiting for me. Waiting for me. Don't be afraid. Just hold on to faith. I know there's adventure just waiting for me. Thank you. Again, that one was called Farewell to Fear. And that is my latest release. If you enjoyed that song, it is available on Spotify and other platforms. All right, catching up with the chat. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. It is game night and music. We've had a little bit of music. Now it's time for some gaming. Well, not really gaming, you know, some competition. Do you call it, sorry. Do you call it gaming? You know, when you're playing like a competition like what we're doing, I always think of gaming as video gaming. Hey, Lady C, we've got Lady C in the chat. Let me catch up here. Let's see. Silas was tuning in. Some hellos. And then we had Lady C tune in. Good to see you. How have you been? I hope you're doing well. Let me know if there's anything fun or eventful or any projects you've been working on that you're excited about. And that's right, I think Silas did have a race fairly recently. So Silas, you'll have to let us know how that went. Lady C says, sometimes fear means we're going in the right direction, and sometimes fear is God-given response to legitimate danger. I'm not sure about that, because God says he hasn't given us a spirit of fear. And there's a difference between fear and discernment. You know, I think fear oftentimes gets confused for wisdom, and I don't think they're the same thing. I think wisdom and discernment is, yes, there's, you know, recognizing, hey, this is dangerous, I need to approach cautiously, or I need to steer clear of that. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be afraid of it. Fear, there's nothing beneficial to fear. You know, you don't need fear to tell you if something's dangerous. That's just straight up wisdom and discernment. But I appreciate you saying I'm lurking, but that's all I can do. Song sounds great. Well, thank you. If you can hang out for a bit, Lady C, hoping to play a new song here. Let's see, some hellos happening in the chat. Becky's saying, I was hoping more people can listen to Quincy's newest release. It's really good. Well, it hasn't actually been released yet, but it is my newest song, so we'll see, like. More like a quiz to me. There we go. Yeah. Thank you to for the applause and for the fire, Becky and Jack. Much appreciated. Jack saying, don't mind lurking. Just remember the F tier is all mine. Well, I'm probably going to put Lady C in there. We'll see. Because Lady C, you tend to say you're going to lurk, and then you tend to do pretty well in these competitions. I think you're even one of our, let me see here. I think you're doing pretty well in the rankings. Yeah, you've got a win under your belt, and I think you did pretty well last time. I think you were pretty close to a win last time. Let's see here. Here we go, Lady. Get you up in there. And let me get this where you guys can see it. Sorry. I'm going to get this. There we go. And Lady C, in case you were interested, I did shoot, I was in a movie shoot last week. I don't know if you heard when I was talking about that, but I'll quickly share a few pictures. It was a Civil War piece. So there's me all suited up and on the back of a horse there. And then here's a picture of me and my brother. We're all dressed up in costume and ready to go for the shoot. And then here's another one. We got a selfie of us together. We're on set. We're in the woods, and there's people in the background getting ready to shoot a scene.
and we were just kind of waiting for them to need us. And then here's my other brother who came to visit while we were shooting. So we got a picture of the three of us. I wish I could have showed some behind-the-scenes footage. I had some video, but I had to download it from a text, and I think it's just kind of a weird file. Lady C saying, okay, fair point. Staying in that fearful state would be a problem. Now back to lurking. Yeah, that's all right. Hey, correction is a sign of love. Just keep that in mind. You know, I wasn't trying to combat what you were saying, but I just wanted to be clear that, yeah, fear, you know, I hate fear, and I think God does too. I don't think there's anything good about fear. But yeah, fear and discernment are just two different things. So it's more of, I don't think you were promoting fear, but I think you were maybe miscommunicating. Sorry, not speaking English well. Not defining fear the same way as just straight up discernment, or having a sense of, oh, hey, that's dangerous. I need to be careful how I approach that. Okay, cool. Well, let's get some competition going here. So everyone just go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started. Also, courtesy reminder, make sure you are live with the stream. If you are behind, if you're delayed at any chance, that's going to put you at a disadvantage. So do make sure that you are caught up and you are live with the stream. Here are the rules. This is the tier list game. So as you can see, we've got a tier list here. It's just several rankings. So we've got at the bottom F tier, and it goes up D, C, B, A, and at the very top we've got S tier. So everyone starts at the bottom of the tier list on F tier, and the objective, through a series of questions and challenges, you get to advance in rankings, and the objective is to get to the top. First person to S tier wins the game. However, there are some perks that get unlocked along the way. So as soon as somebody reaches C tier, the first person to make C tier, that actually unlocks a perk where anyone below C tier will get 2 points for their next win. So that means if you're in F tier, your next answer will actually bring you right up to C tier, so it'll be tied game. If you're in D tier, your next answer would actually let you skip C tier, so you could take the lead. So there's little perks like that that kind of keep it interesting, where anyone, no matter at what point you join in the game, you still have a chance to come back and win it. As soon as someone makes it to A tier, that's the last tier before the winning tier, all the tiers under A tier will get 2 points for their next win. So again, if someone is in B tier, they can come back and win the game. If someone's in C tier, they only need to answer 2 questions to take the win. So it's very possible to come back and take the win. Let's see here. Google is allowed. Again, it wouldn't be fun if I asked a question and nobody knew the answer and we're just kind of sitting there with nothing to do. And someone who knows the answer will always be able to answer faster than someone who has to Google the answer. So Google is permitted unless I specify otherwise. Sometimes there are riddles, and for riddles, I usually like there to be no Google. And again, it's kind of an honesty, trust policy. I'm just kind of trusting that no one's using it. I think riddles are more fun trying to figure them out. And I tried to pick some easy, like easy-ish ones that if you think a little outside of the box, you should be able to figure it out. But that's like the only, riddles are the only one where I try not to, where I request not to use Google. But everything else, Google is fair game. And then also make sure you set the chat to live chat. I have done that myself. But at the top of the chat to the left, you'll see where it says top chat, and there's a little arrow next to it. If you click that, you can change it to live chat, and that should show you people's comments as they are coming in the chat. But just to clarify, I'm always going to pick the answer that I see first. So if for whatever reason, there are times where sometimes you might type and yours looks first in the chat, but I might see somebody else's first. I don't know why it does that, but for some reason, sometimes people, you'll see certain comments come in at different times. And so just to break the tie, I'm always going to go with what I see. So whichever one I see first, that's the one I'm going to pick. So it might look differently on your chat, but if ever 2 people give the same answer and we're not sure who was first, I'm going to go with the one that is showing up first on my chat. Let's see here. We got a thumbs up from Becky. Well, that's good. Yeah, Jack was saying, while the pain is still there, if I don't overdo it, walking does help lessen the pain. I'm definitely glad to hear that. Yeah, I would think moving around would kind of help things out. Even me, anytime I'm having to deal with a certain injury, just creating blood flow seems to really help with relieving the pain. Yep, That's what I'm here for, to remind everyone to switch to live chat, because Becky was saying I nearly forgot. Hey, that's true. Hey, no, that's good conversation. Can't help it. I have to say one more thing. Isn't the fear of the Lord the beginning of wisdom? That's kind of interesting, because I'd have to dig into that. But it is true that the only thing you really have to fear is God himself. I know when you look at a lot of scripture, you do have to look at sometimes the origin of the word, because you have to remember it wasn't written in English to begin with. And so my understanding is that that word fear is almost more of a sense of respect, not necessarily you have to be scared of God, but you should very much be mindful of understanding God is the creator of all things. He gives life. He holds your fate in your hands, basically. And so he's the only person, only being deserving of fear. But at the same time, if you are saved by the Lord, you don't have to be afraid like, oh, I'm scared God's going to send me to hell. You don't have to be afraid of him in that sense if you are saved, if you have that salvation from Jesus Christ. But and so it's sort of a different kind of fear. But yeah, that's good conversation. I'd have to dig into that myself a little bit. But sometimes there are certain words, like even love is kind of another one. Like in Greek, there's 4 different words for love, and they each kind of mean something different. That's kind of the frustrating thing about English. English, if I say I love pizza, I love my mom, and I love my wife. I don't have a wife, but if I had a wife, I'm using the same word to describe 3 different relationships, if you want to call that. But the word love means something different in all of those sentences. The way I love pizza, that's an over-exaggeration. No one, even if someone says I would die for pizza, they don't really mean that. And if they do, there's something wrong with them. But you don't love pizza the same way you love people. It's not the same kind of relationship. Like, obviously, I love my mom on a way more, what's the word? Like a way more serious, a much deeper relationship with my mom than I have with pizza. In fact, saying you love something like pizza, it's an over-exaggeration of just how much you enjoy that thing. But when I say I love my mom, of course, I love her as that relationship, that son-mother relationship, that parent thing. It's not the same kind of love that I would have for my wife, which would be a much more deep, intimate kind of one-on-one, oneness kind of relationship. So it's the same word, but it's a different meaning. So that's kind of something you have to keep in mind when reading scripture as well, is that certain words like that, you do kind of want to dig a little deeper and not just take it at surface level. Sometimes you got to go a little deeper and see what kind of fear are they talking about, what kind of love are they talking about. Let's see here. Sounds like Lady C's got a little bit of experience with nerve pain as well. The medication does help a lot more. Some people can't handle the side effects, though, so just, be careful. Yep. Yeah, Lady C saying I'm terrible at lurking. Trying to lurk, but I guess the conversation is just too interesting. You can't just passively listen. But for what it's worth, I do enjoy when you're part of the streams, Lady C. So you're always welcome. If you want to lurk, you're always welcome to lurk. But if you can't help yourself, but leave a comment, it's always welcome as well. We always enjoy your conversation. And yeah, Jack commenting, that he'd probably still be giving the answer while someone's Googling it and not be as fast. But I don't know. I have faith in you, Jack. Silas may be running. We could wait for him. Well, there's still a chance he could catch up. I think we can at least get going. And then hopefully as we get going, people will see that we've got a game happening here. And we'll get it going on. Yep, there's Becky expressing her love for pizza, as I see there. Yep, Lady C saying, I would so love to talk about different meanings of love and fear, etc. But this has literally taken all of the strength I have in my arms, so happy playing. Well, I definitely don't want you to hurt the strength in your arms, but I appreciate you for tuning in a little bit. Always enjoy your conversation. And hey, even if you could just lurk, if you could just listen, I hope you enjoy the commentary. And I'm going to be playing a new song in a bit here, so if you can hang out for that, I would certainly love to hear that. I don't do that. I stay in lurk mode. Well, LSP, since you left a comment, I'm definitely going to add you to the competition here. Again, you're certainly welcome to just lurk and just listen. But if you want to join in on the competition, just know you're welcome to. We're literally just getting started, so it's anyone's game. And even if you were coming in a bit later, this game is designed so that people can really join in at any moment and still have a chance to come back. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I've got your username here. Yeah, here we go. But LSP, if you want to lurk, you can. But if you're hanging out and you want to chat, let me know how you've been. Let me know how your week's been. Anything fun or eventful happened lately, let me know. All right. Everyone, give me a thumbs up. I know, Becky, you gave me one a while back, but give me a thumbs up and let me know when that you're ready, and we will get this competition going. And for anyone just tuning in, it is not too late, but we're getting started. I'm going to ask the first question in just a moment here. I've got kind of a trivia question for you. So this is something that you can Google, or maybe you know this offhand, but we're looking for a specific answer to kind of a trivial question. Jack is ready. I'm trusting Becky's ready, but Becky and Lady C and LSP, I know you guys are kind of lurking, but you know, you guys are certainly welcome to compete as well. I've got you in the rankings just in case. And Silas may be out on a run, but I'm hoping he returns. Hoping he joins in. All right, here we go. LSP is ready. All right, here is the first question. Not going to lie, I think Lady C might know the answer to this one. What is the name of the highest female voice range? Okay, so there's different vocal ranges, both for male and female vocalists, and we're looking for the name of the voice range for females, the highest voice range for female vocalists. Again, what is that called? What is the name of that? What is the name of the highest female voice range? First person to answer, first answer that I see that is correct, will get the point. Let's see here. Okay. And if you're not sure, you're certainly welcome to Google it. Some of you might know the answer offhand, and you could just type it in the chat. But if you don't know it, you're certainly welcome to Google. What is the name? Hey, we got Silas. Also, courtesy reminder, do make sure you're caught up with the stream. Like, make sure you're live with the stream. If you're behind, you might be at a disadvantage. I don't trust Google search. Falsetto, good guess, but not correct, because male vocalists can sing falsetto is more of a technique. It's not a vocal range. So this is falsetto. You know, yeah, falsetto is kind of a that's what Silas was saying too. Yeah, falsetto is a technique for singing high, but we're looking for the name of a vocal range, and specifically for female vocalists. But yes, courtesy reminder. There we go. Silas got it. Soprano is the correct answer. Yes, a soprano vocalist. That is the highest vocal range for female vocalists. After that, I know for male vocalists, the highest vocal range, I believe, is a tenor, or sometimes even called a high tenor, because there's kind of two tenor ranges. There's higher tenor, lower tenor. I'm probably more of a tenor, but I'm definitely like a low tenor. Like, I barely get the pass for a tenor. After tenor, I believe it's baritone, and then after baritone, you get bass. And I feel like there's probably more. I don't know if there's a tenor range for female vocalists, or if they have a different name for that. I'd have to look it up myself. I'd have to Google it myself. There we go. There's applause from Jack and Becky. Yep, good answer. So Silas, way to go. Silas is on the board. First one to make it to the next ranking, to D tier. But it's not too late. All right, everyone. Again, courtesy reminder, make sure you're caught up with the stream. Make sure you are live with the stream, because if you're behind, you will be at a disadvantage. But go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you are ready for the next question. Or let's see, what is it? Next one is actually a password. So here's the way this is going to work. I'm thinking of a single word, one word, okay? And that is the password. That's what you're trying to guess. I'm going to give you a one-word hint. And based off of that one word, you're trying to guess. And you can type multiple answers. Just type an answer, send it in. Type another answer, send it in. You're just trying to guess what is the password based off of my one-word hint. If nobody is getting it, if people aren't getting it, I will give a second hint. And once again, you can make your guesses. And if still nobody gets it, I will give a third and final hint. Usually by that point, somebody gets it. But yeah, all right, looks like everyone is ready. Here we go. Here is your first hint. Davidson. Okay, that's the first hint. So based off of that one word, Davidson, what do you think what am I thinking of? What is the password? Harley? Nope. Pete? Motorcycle. LSP got it. The password was motorcycle. Harley was a good guess because, yes, Harley Davidson. But, yes, we were looking for motorcycle. So, LSP, congrats. There you go. Moving up into D tier. There we go. Yep, the password was motorcycle. All right, moving on to the next challenge. Again, everyone give me a thumbs up if you are ready. This next one is a riddle. So again, for riddles, I do request that you refrain from using Google for riddles. Google, I allow it for other things, but I think riddles are more fun if you think about them. And I try to pick riddles that aren't too difficult. You might have to think a little outside of the box. That's the key with riddles. Like riddles, don't take it at face value. Don't just read it and think too hard about the question that the riddle is asking. You almost have to kind of think a little outside the box and sort of think what it might be referencing more so. Riddles are the most fun. Yeah, Becky enjoys them. I think riddles are fun too. So here we go. Looks like people are ready. All right, here is the riddle. So this is a good one. This is a good one. All right. What appears once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Okay? I'm going to say that again. What appears once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? And I'm kind of having a thought about this. Oh, there we go. Becky got it. And now you have to tell me, were you able to figure that out? Yeah, that's right. The letter M is correct. Were you able to just figure that out, or had you heard it before? Because that was really fast. But the letter M is correct. Way to go. So, Becky, we've got a good match here. We've got 3 people in D tier. So, way to go. Close competition. Yep, and I don't know if Jesus was your answer. Appears once in a minute, twice, but never in 1,000 years. Well, he's all around all the time. So, yeah, I've heard it before, I think. Yeah, so Becky kind of had heard that one. But that one's pretty clever. So now I might start doing this. Some of these riddles, you might almost have to see them. So, like, I'll paste that real quick. That's one thing I might start doing. Maybe when I start asking the riddles, I might actually start posting them in the chat. Yep, if it does appear in a million. Yep. So what happens once in a minute? So as you can see, minute has got 1 M in it. Twice in a moment, which has 2 M's in it, but never in 1,000 years because there's no M in that. So there you go. But yeah, it does appear in a million years. It does appear in a million years. At least once in a million years. But yeah, I think riddles are fun. I kind of like when they've got questions like that. Because when you first hear the question, you are thinking like time, like, okay, like if you take it literally, okay, what only shows up once in a minute, twice in a moment, but it's always outside the box. Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do with time. It's talking about the word minute and the word moment and the word 1,000 years. So that's kind of the fun thing. So maybe I'll start doing that too. Maybe I'll start printing them. I try to pick riddles that you can kind of figure out in your head, but sometimes being able to see the text kind of helps too, because then you can sort of look for those context clues. All right, I think we're going to take a little music break. We're off to a good start with this competition, though. We've got a 3-way tie at D tier. Again, I know Jack and Lady C well, Lady C's kind of lurking. Jack is saying that he's slow to guess. I still believe in you. I know you've gotten on the board before. I'm pretty sure you've made it up to C tier. So Jack's done a good job before. But it's certainly not too late for you two. If you get an answer, you'll be right up with the rest of the competition. But we're off to a good start. Well, everyone, I've got a new song I'm going to share with you all, and this is actually my first time performing this song with a backing track. I performed it for the last couple streams. I did kind of like a sneak peek, guitar-only version a couple streams ago, and then last stream I did an acoustic version of it, a stripped down version of it. But this will be my first time playing with the backing track. Now the song isn't actually done yet, like I'm still in production of it. I recorded vocals for the song earlier this week, and now I'm in the process of editing the vocals and getting them in the mix. And there's a bit more processing just to get things sounding polished and professional. And then I'm looking to release this song at some point in early October. So we're definitely approaching the release date for this. But this is my latest song, and definitely excited to share it with you all. Let me get yep, there we go, got the backing track set up. So again, this is still, even though I've been working on this song, it's still kind of a new one, and I'm kind of, still practicing it, still having to learn it. So it might be a little rocky, but hey, you got to start somewhere. That's the only way I get better. I just gotta play them, and over time, I learn the song and I get better. So even though I write them, it still takes practice to learn it and be able to perform it. So here we go. I hope you all like it. This is a new song of mine. This one's called Pull the Trigger. And it's just a song about, let's see. It's a song about commitment. And, commitment's not the right word. Committing to taking an action. It's a song about the next time you have an opportunity, facing it. That's kind of what it's about. It's about facing opportunities when you have them and not letting fear keep you from taking those opportunities. This particular song is written about kind of a tough lesson learned and experience I had with someone that I cared for long ago in my high school days. And this was somebody that had a tremendous impact on my life and would go on to kind of shape who I would become. But we had some romantic interest for a while, and then we separated to be friends. And then we worked out our friendship, but during that time, I still had feelings and was dealing with this constant battle in my head, wondering how she felt. And there were certain times it seemed like maybe she liked me back, maybe she still had feelings for me. And then other times it seemed like, nope, she totally moved on. And I really wasn't sure. And it was this constant tug and pull, like, do I keep holding on or do I keep letting go? And really the best thing, what I should have done was I really just should have talked to her about it. I just should have said, hey, I still have feelings for you. Is there a chance, do you have those feelings as well? Or is it just me? Is it just one-sided and I just need to learn to get over this? It's better to know because I never asked, I never found out, and I'll never know what would have been. So kind of a tough lesson to learn, but that's the thing. It's like, don't do that to yourself. Sometimes we're scared to find out the answer, but even if the outcome isn't what you hoped it would be, the truth always sets you free. And that's why you shouldn't be afraid of that, because then later you're just kind of left wondering what could have been. So that's what the song's about. It's called Next Time You Have Those Opportunities, Pull the Trigger, Take Action on It. Hope you like it. This is a new one.
Thought you died a long time ago. I had left you in my 6-foot home, but from time to time in my memory, I'll receive a visit from your ghost. I can tell you're just a dream by the way you place your lips on me, but it's never what it seems. When I wake up to reality, I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late. The moment doesn't wait forever. So next time I'll just pull the trigger. I have tried so hard to forget, but I guess you can't outrun regret. It was only for a moment, but the scene keeps playing in my head. You would call me by surprise when you wrapped your arms around my side. And I knew the time was right, but instead I only said goodbye. I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late. A moment doesn't wait forever. So next time I'll just pull the trigger. There were times when I would hate myself, but you always left me with a smile. And times when I was sure you felt the same kind of feelings that I felt. You gave me every chance to share, but I kept my secrets to myself. And now you're no longer here, and I'll never know what might have been. I wish I'd had the nerve to say it. I had the shot and didn't take it. Now it's too late. The moment doesn't wait forever. So next time I'll just pull the trigger. Next time I'll just pull the trigger. There we go. That's a new one. That is Pull the Trigger. So that was my first time doing it with the backing track. The song has not yet been released, but it is currently in production and looking to be released in early October. So definitely be ready for that one. It'll be coming fairly soon. All right. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello, and we will get back with the competition. We're going to catch up with the chat here, but let me bring up the tier list. There we go. We've got a close matchup so far. Three-way tie in D tier. We've got Silas, LSP, and Becky all up there. And then not far behind, Jack and Lady. If they want to answer a question, they could easily catch up. So for anyone just tuning in, it is not too late to get in on the competition. And we will let you into that. Let's see here. Catching up with the chat. What do we got here? Let's see here. Silas asking, anyone ever tried an LSP guitar? If LSP's name was making you think Lord Spike Protein, yeah, that's his guitar line. He owns that guitar line. I'm actually not sure what LSP stands for. I know there's a few guitarists I like who play LSPs. I've maybe held one before. I've maybe played one like in a guitar center. I haven't played them consistently, but as far as I know, they make good guitars. I think they're a pretty good brand, if I recall. Let's see here. And then we got our little squirt gun, yeah, for Pull the Trigger from Becky. It's so sad. I hope Quincy's next venture in love is happier and lasts forever. Well, thank you, Becky. Much appreciated.
We aren't supposed to hold on to anything, but it can be challenged. For what it's worth, I've certainly let go, but it's definitely a lesson. It's just kind of, that's the lesson I learned. It's not really a song about her, actually. It's more so a song about, it's a song about that decision. That's, like probably the thing I regret most is not doing that actually interfered with my ability to just enjoy our friendship. Like rather than just enjoying the moments that I was with her, it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? I was too concerned with whether or not she liked me back that I couldn't just be in the moment and just enjoy like, hey, let's just, have fun doing what we're doing, being together and stuff. And so it's not really a song about, oh, she was the one and I regret it. No, it's more so just a song of, just a time when I let fear win, just a time when I let something I was afraid to speak up and say mess me up. So it's just kind of a tough lesson learned, and that's the lesson learned. That, and it doesn't even necessarily only apply in this particular situation. It's it's a love song, but it applies to any situation in life, any situation where you've got an opportunity for something, and it's like, hey, if you got it, take your shot, go for it, because again, it can lead to regret later. Here's our highlighted lyric. I've tried so hard to forget, but I guess you can't outrun regret. Thanks. Yeah, Jack saying, I have no doubt when the time is right, Quincy will meet the perfect lady that compliments him in every way. Well, I definitely appreciate the sentiments, you all. It's very kind of you to say. Hold on to Jesus. Good advice. Thanks for the applause, Becky. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I recently noticed how much patience I have and don't have. It's amazing. Yeah, I guess if you mean certain things you can be patient for and certain things you can't be patient for, I guess it would be surprising. Yeah, sometimes you can feel like, man, I'm super patient because there's some things you can, and then there's other things that maybe are a bit more challenging to tolerate. And so I guess it depends what you're being patient for. Thank you for the applause, you all. Much appreciated. Dude, it's a good song. I like the bit of kind of complexity and the emotion and the words and the melody. Well, thank you, Silas. Much appreciated. Yeah, that's one thing that was kind of that I enjoyed about it. I kind of like the intensity of it, and there's a lot of fun musical things there. I'm sure, once I release it, I'll, for one of the My Process segments, we'll dive into that. And, I love talking about songwriting and everything that goes into that. So, Silas, if you ever have any questions about that song and the arrangement and the music, certainly hold on to them, and we'll have to discuss that during a My Process segment or something like that. But thank you. I appreciate that, Silas. Oh, sounds like Becky might have just ran out of Chinese chicken. That is unfortunate. Yep. I wish she had a little more as well, but maybe there's a little something else you can grab to snack on. All right, we're getting back in the competition. Everyone go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you are ready. Here's your courtesy reminder. Do make sure you are caught up with the stream. Make sure you are live. If you're behind, you will be at a disadvantage. And we are continuing with the competition. And we will see what happens next. What do we got here? Okay, I've got, this is sort of a trivia question, but this is a question about me, and you can't, so sometimes I'll ask questions about me, like what you know about me or what you don't know about me, and most of the time, you can't Google these, you gotta guess them, so they're usually fairly simple things. All right, looks like people are ready. Here we go. So here's a question about me. What is my sleeping posture? So when I go to bed at night, what posture do I sleep in? There's really only a few guesses. So first person to guess the correct answer. And there's a few different ways you could say it. So, first one to kind of get it doesn't have to be like the exact phrasing, but yep, trying to guess. Becky got it right off the bat. I was going to say right off the back, but it's bat, and Jack, you were right behind. Jack, you had it too on your side. Yep, Silas was guessing side sleeper. Nope, I'm flat face down. Nope, I am a back sleeper. back is correct. I almost sleep, to be honest, I had a friend say that I sleep like a corpse. You know, I look like a, you know, I'm just like super, just straight, lie down, like exactly how I sleep, you know. Apparently, your back is one of the best ways to sleep. I've also heard that side is actually really good too. Ideally, if you put like a pillow or something between your legs so that, to create space between your hips so that your upper leg isn't layering down. I've heard sleeping on your stomach is not a very good way to sleep. And then what else? I think that's it. If you can sleep while standing, I mean, good to you. Don't know anyone who can do that. Sleep on your head. There might be some other odd positions. If there's any other odd positions that you guys know of, but out of those three, I think side is typically okay, and then back is usually a pretty healthy way to sleep. But it's also, I don't know, something I'm kind of comfortable with. What about each of you? What is your sleeping posture? Or some of you, you know, maybe you just whatever feels good that night. You know, it's like I'll start on the back and wake up in the morning on my stomach or something like that. There we go. Yep, got a good chuckle out of Becky. If I have more bad dreams, I sleep on my back. That's kind of interesting. I tend to. I mean, I sleep. Yeah, I tend to have dreams. Actually, the one thing I like about dreams, they're always so weird, but they at least tell me that I got some sleep. You know, I'll wake up and be like, man, that was a weird dream. Well, at least I know I slept because I had a dream. A mixture of all of them. Yeah, so Becky, yeah, is one who will just kind of ebb and flow into all of them. Yep, LSP is a back and side person. Sometimes I'll switch to side, but usually that's pretty rare. Like, if I'm just not sleeping well, sometimes I'll go to the side, but usually a back. Silas saying I sleep either on my back or on my side. Yep, back and side. Jack's a side sleeper. Otherwise, I snore. Yep. I don't know if I snore or not. I'm not. Maybe lately I've been snoring because I've had this stuffy nose, but I've never been informed as to whether or not I'm a snorer. Let's see here. Becky, you got that. So Becky is on C tier, so that's great, but everyone else, you've got a chance now. So everyone under C tier, your next answer, or your next win will be worth 2 points. So Silas and LSP, your next answer will actually get you past C tier and knock you up to B tier. And then Jack and Lady C, if you guys answer, or if anyone just tuning in, if you join in, your next answer will get you tied with the lead, get you up to C tier. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are all ready for the next question. We've got a movie quote coming up. So basically, I'm going to say a quote from a movie. First person to type in the title of the movie will get the point. All right. If I snore, I wake myself up. Yeah, maybe sometimes I wake myself up because I've snored. I haven't noticed. All right, looks like people are ready. Here we go. Here is the movie quote. What movie is this from? Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Okay, first person to name the title of the movie. And I'll kind of act it out for you a little bit. He goes, roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. First person to name the title of that movie will get the point. It's a good one. Hopefully you've seen it. Hopefully y'all recognize it. I feel like it's pretty well known. Jack got it. Back to the Future. And here's Jack thinking he's going to be slow, but nope, he got the movie quote. Back to the Future is correct. So Jack, look at that. Maybe that's Jack's strategy. Jack likes to hang out on F tier, and then as soon as someone gets to C tier, he's like, all right, now's my chance to take an answer so I can get caught up, you know? And then he'll probably do the same thing. He'll wait till someone gets to A tier, and then he'll ask again. But A tier is a little more risky because if you're in C tier, you still got to answer 2 questions to get caught up. So really B tier is the place to be. That's a good safe spot. Yep, good job, Jack. I was just going to say that. Yep, LSP was right behind you. Yep, so way to go. Yep, that's a good one. That's a classic movie. Great trilogy. All 3 of the Back to the Future movies are great. Awesome stuff. All right, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Let me know that you are ready. This next one, there are multiple answers. I'm going to ask for a song from an artist. So first person to name any song from this artist will get the point. There is a little caveat, though. This is an artist that has one particular song that's very popular. And so, yeah, Becky was saying, been a long time since I've seen it. Well, give it a revisit. It's a good one. I think you'll find it quite charming. Looks like people are ready. Great, great. All right, we're ready to go. Okay, so here we go. All you have to do, I'm just going to name, you can name any song. It can be any song, but I'm going to name an artist. First person to type a song by this artist will get the point. However, there's one song by this artist that's very popular, and I'm going to say besides that song. So you can't name their really big hit. So first person to name a Switchfoot song besides Meant to Live. So Switchfoot, one of their most popular songs, possibly their most popular song, is a song called Meant to Live. But that one doesn't count. So you got to name any other Switchfoot song besides Meant to Live. And if you're not familiar with the band Switchfoot, all I would say is look up Switchfoot discography or lyrics. Quickly look up Switchfoot and see what song titles come up. There we go. We got... Oh, I think Silas got it. Yep, I saw Becky's, but I see Silas before. We got Afterlife. But Dare You to Move. That's a good one right there. Yep, Silas got it. And I know I kind of had a feeling Silas was going to get it because I was like, oh man, I know Silas is a Switchfoot fan. So this is probably going to be his. Let me just confirm that. I'm pretty sure I know that that's correct. Switchfoot. Whoops. Yep, there it is right there, Afterlife. Yep. So good stuff. Yeah, I had a feeling Silas was going to get that one. Even when I was seeing it, I was like, should I change this? But I was like, yeah, we'll go. We'll give it to him. So congrats to Silas. We got, Silas taking the lead. Yeah, because you get that 2-point perk. So Silas is now in the lead at B tier. So way to go. Man, we've got some good competition happen here. Some really close. Let me see how we're doing on schedule real quick. All right, I tell you what, we'll do one more question, and then we're going to take a break for a song. We'll take a little intermission. So go ahead, give me that thumbs up when if you're ready to go. Thumbs up, or just type "Let's go," "I'm ready." You know, either thing is fine. Just let me know that you're ready, and we'll get into the next question. Well, Silas is saying you played Afterlife in the 10-minute song challenge. 10-minute song challenge was a long time ago, though. So just because I played it once doesn't mean I remember it. I don't remember every song I played on the 10-minute song challenge. And I'm pretty sure I've heard the song, but I'm most familiar with Switchfoot's first album and their second one, the album with... I'm familiar with like Gravity and When I Look at the Stars, some of the songs from those albums. But Afterlife, I've seen it, and I'm certain I heard it, but I can't remember. Like, I couldn't sing it for you. I'd have to hear it. But if I heard it, I'd recognize it. You see something? Switchfoot. Yeah, because it came out in 2011, so it was definitely one of their later albums. All right. Here we go. Looks like people are ready. Cool, cool. All right, here we go. Let me find my question. I think this one, I think it's going to be a favorite answer. So everyone, let me find it real quick. Yes, okay. So this is one that everyone actually gets a chance to answer. So no need for speed with this one. However, I do usually prefer that everyone submit at least one answer. You know, yeah, I allow for one change, but ideally just submit one answer, and I'm going to pick my favorite answer. So no need for speed here. This is really about creativity, like thinking smart. All right, here we go. If I was an MMA fighter, if I was in the UFC, what would be my entrance song? So when they're announcing, here's Quincy, Kane, and I'm walking out, what song would I walk out to? What would be my entrance song as I walk out through the crowd and go in to enter the cage? So pick a good entrance song for me. And that's right, Silas did see Switchfoot recently, saw them in concert. And I watched some of the clips you posted from that. You had a very good viewing of the stage and of the show, and then obviously John came out and you got real close to him. So we got Monster by Skillet, that's submitted. I must confess that I feel like a monster. Definitely has that kind of fight energy to it. Like it sounds like an entrance song. Let's see what other submissions we got here. Yep, so again, speed isn't important, but let's not take all day, you know. so if you guys are thinking of something, just think of a good one. Yeah, ideally you should only do one. Yeah. I mean, if you'd like to change your answer, you can, Silas, but again, I don't want everyone to be changing them. The Red by Chevelle, that's a good one right there. Yep. Becky knows me. I'm definitely a Chevelle fan, so that's a pretty good pick right there. Let's see. Jack, LSP, you guys got any submissions? Anyone else tuning in? Lady C, if you're still out there, it's never too late to join in. Got distracted for a minute, sorry. No worries. We'll wait a minute or two just to give everyone a chance to submit something. But, you know, eventually we'll close the submissions and I'll have to pick something. Let's see here. And I think you guys might get a kick out of the next song that I do. All right. LSP just returned. We got Eye of the Tiger. That's a classic from Jack. LSP, I don't know if you heard the question, but it's if I was an MMA fighter, what would be my entrance song? So I'm just letting all of you submit an answer. So far, we've got Monster by Skillet. That was Silas's submission. Becky submitted The Red by Chevelle. Jack submitted The Eye of the Tiger. And so LSP, if you, real quick, just pick a song that you think would be a good entrance song for me. You know, if I was about to enter in the cage and they were announcing my name, Quincy Kane, what song would be playing over the speakers as I'm walking out and as I'm entering the cage and getting hyped up and ready for the fight? And anyone else just tuning in, it's not too late. Haven't closed the doors yet. You can make a submission real quick. What would be a good entrance song? Going to wait just a moment. And then after this one, we're going to dive into some more music real quick. All right, just a little longer, but I'm probably going to have to call it soon and probably have to pick an answer. It's hard to imagine you as an MMA fighter, Quincy. Yeah, I don't know if I would... I mean, like, I love martial arts. Like, I practice that. I do Muay Thai and stuff, so... I can picture it, you know. Again, you know, don't confuse my my politeness and generosity for meaning that I can't dish it out when I need to. You know, so, like I mean, think about it. I love action movies. I train to be an action hero. I like martial arts. I like that stuff. So it might not seem like my personality, but I don't know that I actually want to compete in it. But I definitely. Definitely enjoy that kind of thing. So in another life, maybe it'd be something I would do. I was trying to remember the one Silas picked last time. It was a Killswitch song. Yeah, Killswitch would definitely be a good one. Can I change mine to My Curse? If you, you know, I'll allow it. Yep. I will allow one change. So if you're going to make your change, make it now. Let's see here. Yeah, that one. Yep. Well, I tell you what. If that was the one Silas submitted last time, then maybe I shouldn't let you change it, Silas, because yeah, I think My Curse was one that was picked last time, and it was probably the one that I chose. So I tell you what, we're gonna stick with the answers that have been submitted. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to let you stick with the other one for now. And the only reason was because it was kind of last minute. I was about to pick. I was trying to wait to see if LSP had a submission. So Monster definitely has that energy. It sounds like it would be on like a sport soundtrack for something. Eye of the Tiger, obviously a classic. But I got to be honest. I think I've got to go with some Chevelle. Got to go with The Red. So I'm going to give the point to Becky, which brings Becky up to tied with Silas. So we've got a tied... at the lead here. So in B tier, we've got Silas and Becky. Just behind them, C tier, is Jack. LSP, your next answer is still worth 2 points, so you could be tied for the lead. Your next answer would get you up to B tier with our leaders here. And then anyone else who just tunes in, it's not too late to get in on the competition and make a comeback and win this. So we're going to take a brief break for some music, and then we will get back to the competition. So this is kind of funny. We've talked about this before, but we've talked about how a lot of times I will go to play Let's Start Again, the song Let's Start Again. And that's kind of Daniel's song. That's sort of the Daniel signal to summon him. So we're going to try that. So I'm going to try to play Let's Start Again, and we'll find out if it summons Daniel or not. We'll see if he shows up. I thought I would save this for near the end. We're not quite at the end, but we're getting close. And so I'm going to play this song, and we'll see if Daniel shows up and if he can make a sweeping comeback. You know, he's a fun one. He brings the challenge. You know, he's good at these competitions. Of course, sometimes he's occupied with work, or he might be traveling somewhere. He travels a lot, so we'll see. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and play Let's Start Again, and we'll find out if Daniel shows up or not. Let me get my guitar tuned real quick. Or actually, I don't need to tune it. I just need to put a capo on it. Here we go. All right, here we go. We'll see if Daniel shows up or not. But either way, Daniel, this one goes out to you, brother. This is Let's Start Again.
Take it back just one more time. Try to make it right. I don't understand, why do we always have to fight? It's a cycle we go through. You and I are too afraid of love. Wouldn't be so hard if you would just tell me the truth. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's take it back just one more time. Try to figure out the reason why. Do you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside your head. You could run away, or you could talk to me instead. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart, and I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't Let's start again. Let's start again.
Oh, yeah. Again, that was Let's Start Again. And really, that was to see if Daniel would show up. So I got to catch up with the chat, and let's find out if he showed up or not. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. It is game night and music. And we've got just a little more competition going on, and then we've got one more song. But I think we're getting close. I think we're going to have a winner in the next few moments here. So let's catch up with the chat, and then we shall continue. Here's our leaderboards. As you can see, we've got Silas and Becky tied in the lead at B tier. But Jack not far behind in C tier. And even LSP, if he gets his next answer, it's worth 2 points. So he would be caught up to B tier as well. So really, we've got a close game here. And even anyone just tuning in, if you're in F tier, your next answer would be worth 2 points. So that would get you up to C tier. And you'd be, you very much are still in this game. It's not too late to join in. So if anyone's just tuning in, it's never too late to join into the competition. All right. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, just catching up with the chat. Thank you for the applause. Yay, good idea. Yeah, Becky laughing. Yeah, Daniel, let's go. Yep, trying to see if Daniel shows up. So we'll see. So far, I'm not seeing him. Not sure he has, but maybe next time it'll work. He may be busy cooking an elaborate dinner of frozen pizza in the oven. Yeah, sometimes he'll do that, but he's got some good stuff. I think he'll do like steaks and sometimes more elaborate. Sometimes he'll do like something kind of simple like that, like a good frozen pizza or a hot dog of some sort. And then sometimes he will do something that takes a little more prep. He always makes me hungry. It's always near the end of the stream. I get hungry, and so we start talking about food, and yeah, gets me looking forward to dinner when I get home. Wish I had a frozen pizza cooking right now. Yeah, me too, Jack. Yeah, all of us. Amen. Here's our highlighted lyric. Do you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? And if you guys happen to notice any similarity, like theme similarity with that song and my new song, it's probably because it's about the same person. All right. I've noticed the more I type, the more I lag. I keep pausing the video when I type. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe it's on my end or something. I don't know. Thank you for the applause, Jack. Yeah, thank you for the fire. Yep. Hey, I'm up to C tier. In my mind, I already won. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's an accomplishment, Jack. Way to go. I have a microwavable hot dog in the fridge I could eat. I mean, hey, go for it if that's what you're in the mood for. Tried conjuring up by saying his name in the bathroom mirror, but that was too weird even for me. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, that's not exactly what I meant by summon. Even summoning is just like calling someone, like, "Hey, summon so and so." It's like, "Hey, so and so, get over here." Not necessarily a ritual or anything like that. Yeah, so it sounds like it's just on Becky's end. I'm sorry you're dealing with some lag, but hey, for the rest of you, y'all might want to take advantage of that. That might be your chance to take the win, since Becky's dealing with some lag. All right, let's get back in the competition. I think we're going to have a winner in a moment here and then put a wrap on. I've got one more song for you all, and then we'll put a wrap on this. So go ahead, give me a thumbs up or type, "Let's go, I'm ready, bring it on." Let me know that you are ready, and we will continue with the competition. Let's see where we left off. Find the next question or challenge. Okay, we've got kind of a trivia, sort of a music trivia question here. Now, this one will be interesting. I'm not going to lie. Okay, never mind. I mean, some of you might have to Google this, but some of you may know it. We'll see. This is going to be an interesting one, but I'll give a little hint. Musicians definitely have maybe an advantage here. If you don't play an instrument, then you might want to be ready to use Google for this one. I'll give you that little heads up. All right, looks like people are ready. New York fries, hot dogs here cost like 15 bucks. Talk about monopoly money, eh? Yeah, for real. All right, looks like people are ready. Here we go. We're looking for the answer to this trivia question. What technique is used to make guitars go chug? Okay, so there is a certain technique. There's a name for it. It's a guitar technique to give guitars that chug sound, that chug, chug, chug kind of sound. And I'll even demonstrate it if you'd like me to. So here's just me playing the guitar. So if I just use my pick and I do this, that's the sound. But if I do this and then this, hear that chug, chug, chug kind of sound. That's what we're looking for. What's that called? There's a technique. Use that. And bonus points, I'd be real impressed if you guys can tell me what this is called. It's the same technique, but listen to the difference. So here's this. And then if I make a slight shift, listen to the difference in sound. So this, and then this. Yep. If anyone knows what that's called, I'd be real impressed. All right, I see some comments coming in. Let's see here. Yep, LSP got it with palm muting. That is correct. Silas, this is your question, my dude. Yeah, Silas might have been able to get it. I have a feeling Silas might have slipped out for a jog. He might be getting some running in. Sometimes he'll do that. He'll be on the stream, and then he'll go out for a run real quick. So this might be your chance, guys, while Silas is distracted to take the win. But yes, LSP got it. It is called, yeah, couldn't Google fast enough. No worries. So LSP, that gets you up to B tier. You are in the lead, man. We got some good competition happening here. Yep, you're tied in first with Silas and Becky. Yes, that technique is called palm muting because you're using the palm of your hand and you're resting it on the end of the strings, and so it gives it that kind of muted sound, but you're still getting a note out of it. So that's what's happening. If you just strum with the pick, you just get a regular guitar sound, and then when you use your palm and you put it at the end of the strings, it kind of mutes them a little bit. It doesn't mute them entirely. You still get a note out of it, but it mutes them enough to get that kind of rounded chug-chug sort of sound. And then that bonus thing, yeah, couldn't Google at all. I'll demonstrate with the guitar real quick. That bonus thing I was talking about. So yeah, so if I use the pick, just a regular strum, there you go, that's what it sounds like. And then if I use my palm and I rest it at the end of the strings here, you get that chuggy sound. But then if I scoot my palm up a little bit more, like up the strings, you get that really tight sound, and that's actually called djent. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's very common in like progressive metal and certain styles of metal, but it's actually I think it's called an onomatopoeia. Is that what you call it? When the word is the sound or something like that. Like click kind of makes, saying click kind of sounds like what the sound is. Like a click sounds like a click, So it's called djent because if you listen, that's really how you describe it. It makes that djent, 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 djent sound. Let me get a better one. Yeah, why do they not? Yeah. Yeah, djent, 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 So that's called djent. It's still palm muting, but the sound is very common. I like to use that technique for my palm mutes. You get like a really tight, punchy, smacky kind of tone. So that's a cool sound. All right. Well, everyone go ahead and give me a thumbs up or type, "Let's go, I'm ready, bring it on." And we will move on to the next one. Fast Wi-Fi. Yeah, LSP having the fast Wi-Fi, which is kind of helping him out. Now, did you know that? I can't remember if you play guitar, LSP. I might be forgetting that. And so maybe you already knew offhand, or maybe you had to Google it, and you had the faster internet, so that's why you're able to Google faster than Becky. I also have fast Wi-Fi, but I think if somebody else knows the answer, and I don't, I prefer not to Google anyway. Well, no worries. All right, let's go. Here we go. Looks like we're ready. Yeah, LSP doesn't play guitar. Okay, so you did have to Google it, but good job. You found it. You got the right answer. All right, we got a password here. Again, we're looking for one word. The answer is just one word. I'm going to give you a one-word hint. And based off of that one word, you can type as many guesses as you want. You can type a guess, send it in, type another guess, send it in. And first person to guess the correct answer based off of my hint will get the point. Now, if no one's getting it, I will give a second hint. And if needed, I will give a third hint. Here we go. The first hint is groove. Again, the word is groove. So send in your guesses based off of that one word. What do you think the password might be? Again, the word is groove. Also, just a courtesy reminder, do make sure you are caught up with the stream. You don't want to be behind or delayed because that will put you at a disadvantage. All right. Wow. Way to go, Silas. Sorry, I choked on my own spit. Man, I was sipping that water. But anyway, Silas got it first guess. I was thinking, like, people are going to go different directions with groove. I was certain you guys were going to need at least a second hint to get that. But Silas got it. Way to go. It is dance. Dance is the correct answer. So Silas is up at A tier. He is at the lead, but it's not over yet. I'm okay. Yeah, so Silas, like, you okay? Yeah, I'm just okay. The water went down the wrong pipe. So, but way to go. Yeah, the first hint was groove, and that could be so many things. It could be beat, it could be rhythm, it could be drums, like bass, groove could be so many things. But yeah, dance was it. The next hint was going to be movement, and then the last hint was going to be rave. But Silas got it right out the gate, so way to go. All right. We are at a very, very interesting spot here. I think victory dance. That's right, Silas. Yeah, take your victory dance. That's right. All right. We've got a three-way here. I think we might have a winner. I mean, Jack, unless you really want to bring it, Jack might be able to come back, or if Daniel swoops in and someone in F tier starts answering and coming back, and they're really on top of their answers. But I think we might have a winner in a moment here. Silas is one away. But now, everyone under Silas, your next answer is worth 2 points. So, Becky, LSP, if you can answer before Silas, you can take the win. You skip A tier and you go to S tier. And so, really the game is, if Silas, Becky, or LSP, if one of you get the next answer, you will be the winner. Jack, you only need 2. Rather than 3, your next answer will get you up to A tier, and then your next answer will give you the win. And again, someone even back in F tier would only need to answer 3 questions. So you'd have to be a little, on top of your answers. But if you were, it could be done, Yeah. Daniel, where are you? Yep. He must be on an adventure somewhere, or having a good dinner, or working. Sometimes that's the case too. Let's be honest. Jack almost certainly won't win. Hey, I believe in you. I think you just got to believe in yourself, Jack. All right. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up, or I'm ready. Let's go. Bring it on. Let's do this. Type something. Let me know that you are ready. And let me make sure we got a good, finisher, because this might be the last question. This might announce the winner for this stream. Yeah, we got a good riddle. So I will say, just as an honesty policy, this is one where I prefer that you don't use Google. Please try to think. And I think this is actually a fairly, Yeah, we'll go with this one. I think this is a fairly popular riddle, so some of you may have heard it before. But here we go. All right, the riddle is, riddle me this. Okay. Yeah, Becky was saying, I hope Jack gets it, then the game will continue. Yeah, Jack, if you keep playing, then the game has to go on a little bit longer. All right, riddle me this. I can go all around the world, but never leave my corner. What am I? Okay, so think about that. I can go all around the world, but never leave my corner. What am I? And yes, again, I think it's, even if you haven't heard it, I think if you really think, sometimes you have to think a little outside of the box. Don't take it too direct. Sun? No, not the sun. Not a bad guess, though. It's actually a pretty good guess, yeah, because the sun is stationary. I'll kind of give you like a little hint, like, Silas, you've got the right idea with thinking of something that's stationary and yet can go all around the world. But it's not the sun. YouTube. Yeah, kind of. But, yeah, not YouTube. Let me say that one more time. Again, there might be some words that give you kind of a hint of what it is. I can go all around the world, but never leave my corner. What am I? Air, Wi-Fi. Nope, nope. We've got some good guesses here. Wind. Nope, not wind. I can go all around the world, but never leave my corner. What am I? North Pole. Imagination. Nope. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint. Focus on the word corner. That one you can kind of take literally. It is a corner. So something that can stay in its corner and yet go all around the world. Like, I could phrase it that way too. I can stay in my corner and yet go anywhere. And let's say it that way. I can go anywhere in the world. I can stay in my corner and yet go anywhere in the world. What am I? Land? Nope. I'm trying to think if I can, water? Nope. I'll give another little hint. The way this gets around the world, usually it's sent. Yeah, LSP doesn't know. Let me give you a few hints and see if y'all can figure it out. So think of the word corner, and the way it gets around the world, usually it's sent. And when I say sent and around the world, it doesn't mean that it goes around the world. It just means that it's capable of going around the world. It can go anywhere. So it can be sent anywhere in the world. Ooh, Jack, you're getting close. Letter is not the right answer, but you are super close. Think a little more specific. Not text. Yeah, not text message, not text. Jack, you're like right at it, man. Think corner. Mail? Nope. You've got the right idea. Mail, letter, you got the right idea, but think corner. Becky got it. Yep, it was stamp. Yep. It was really close to wanting to give it to Jack. Jack, you were right there, and you probably helped Becky get it. But yep, the answer is a stamp. Yep, I can go all around the world and yet never leave my corner. What am I? The answer is a stamp. Because, yep, you stamp it in the corner of a letter. The corner, yep. So, yep, way to go, Becky. But a little bit of teamwork there. So, I tell you what, Jack, I'm going to give you the privilege of moving you up to A tier, but Becky did get the win. Becky got 2 points, so the win goes to Becky, but Jack, for contributing and sort of helping and having such a good answer, you can at least say you were one step close of S tier. That might be a new record for you, Jack. That's pretty high up there. So you got past. I knew you could get past C tier. You got past C tier, made it to A tier. But there we go, Becky. Way to go. Becky proving to be quite a force to be reckoned with when it comes to these. So way to go. And Becky, just so you know, you've currently got the record for most wins. So Daniel, I don't know if you're watching the replay, but you gotta come out of retirement and start competing again, because for the longest time, Daniel had the record for most wins of 3. Silas eventually tied that record at 3. And Becky, you've now got a total of 4 wins. So congratulations. Everyone give your congratulations to Becky. Way to go. Good competition, everyone. A lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed that. I got one more song for you, and then we're going to put a wrap on all of this. All right. Jack saying, yep, definitely a new record for me. And let's see here. Yep, that's why I gave Jack a little bit of extra credit. Yep. But awesome. Good stuff, everyone. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to get this stuff minimized. I got one more song for you, and then we're going to put a wrap on all of this. This is one I released earlier this year. Hope you all like it. This one's called A Mirror That Was Broken. This is going to be our last song, and then we're going to put a wrap on this stream. But great competition, some good, fun, friendly competition and conversation with all of you. Last song, and then we'll wrap things up. This one is called A Mirror That Was Broken.
And so I lived happily ever after, or so I thought, until she told me it was over. A broken heart has a way of putting life on hold. But when I stop to think, never seem to find an answer. And I am falling apart now, for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days and wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself in a mirror that is broken. I said goodbye and never saw my friends again. It took some time to see if I could make things clear. It's a lonely drive when there's no one in the passenger seat. And I'll catch myself often glancing in the rearview mirror, 'cause I am falling apart now, for all I know. Everything's changing and I must let go. But I keep reflecting on better days, wondering if life will ever be the same. Scraping up the pieces, cutting up my hands, looking for myself in a mirror that is broken. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With every single scar is a treasure to be earned. But I'll never find healing if I'm holding on to hurt. I'll never see heaven if I'm face down in the dirt. With every single tear, there's a lesson to be learned. With Every single scar is a treasure to be earned, but I'll never find him if I'm holding on to hurt. So I'm letting go, 'cause I am falling apart now from all I know. Caught a glimpse of myself before I let him go. I'm looking ahead now to better days, and wondering what life has got in store for me. I'm falling apart now for all I know. Just fragments of memories from long ago. But those days are over, so I'll move on. I know that the best is yet to come. Displaying all the pieces, showing who I am. Formed a masterpiece from a mirror that was broken. From a mirror that was broken. Yeah. Thank you. Again, that is A Mirror That Was Broken. If you enjoyed that song, it is available on Spotify and other streaming platforms. All right, well, that is going to be a wrap for game night and music. We're going to catch up with the chat and just finish some things up, and then we will be calling it a stream. But guys, way to go. Again, congratulations to our winner, Becky here. Let's see here, just catching up with the chat. Yeah, Becky saying, I never would have thought of letter or stamp. Well, there you go. You know, teamwork from Becky and Jack. Actually, you know, that's kind of a fun thought. Like, if we ever had enough competitors, it'd be kind of fun to do like a team match, like teams of 2 or something like that. That might be kind of fun. Maybe that could be a variation, a little twist on the tier list game. So that way it could work together. All right. You rocked like a hurricane. Yep. Yep, that's a pretty classic song right there. Love Mirror That Was Broken. Well, thank you, Silas. Glad you like it. Love it. One of my fave Quincy songs. Thank you, Jack. Glad you all like that one. Nice meeting you all. Bye, Quincy. Good time. Thank you. Well, LSP, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the competition. I hope you have a great rest of your week. All right. Thank you for the applause. Yeah, appreciate the emojis. Yep, always a pleasure. Silas is hoping to have band practice this week. Well, I hope that works out. I hope you guys get practice happening, and I hope it goes well. Yes, let's do that. Yeah, I think maybe a team thing could be fun. I'll make note of it. And again, we would need kind of enough people. You know, we'd need at least 4 people, but that could be a fun little twist or variation. Just waiting for my other guitarist to respond. Now, I will say, Silas, hopefully, you know, ideally, yes, it's nice to have a full band practice, but hopefully you're at least meeting with who you can. Like if you have a guitarist that can't show up, but the drummer can, hopefully you guys are still getting together to practice. You know, it's not worth canceling just because no one can make it. Even if it's just a couple of you getting together, that's still beneficial. Thanks for the stream, Quincy. It was great as usual. Well, thank you for tuning in, Jack. Always appreciate spending time with you and the others. My drummer can. That's good. Jack did really good. Yeah. I can't type fast on a phone. Thanks for the stream. Gotta go. Well, thanks for tuning in, Silas. Much appreciated. All right. That is going to be a stream. Last thing I'll just mention. Whoops. I forgot to type this at the beginning. Whoops. Yeah, I get a little bad about remembering to do this. 1 second. But here we go. Yep, just a link. If you all, if you enjoy these streams, if you enjoy my music and you want to show some support, there's a link right there. I'm going to pin it. Give me just a second here.
But yeah, just a few options in that link to show some support. If you'd like to leave a tip, I'd certainly appreciate it. If you want to get yourself some merch, there's a link to my merch store, and you can get yourself a hat or a hoodie or something of the like. If you want to download my music, it is available for free, so my Bandcamp link is there. But if you also want to support me by downloading my music and paying for it, that's an option as well. And then lastly, if you want to be notified whenever I release new songs, for example, my new song, Pull the Trigger, when I do release it, if you want to be notified when the song is released and when it is available, be sure to sign up for my email list so that you can stay notified for my song releases and for these videos and such things. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning, night, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.